Hey guys, Andrethefarmer here, and today we're going to do an air layer on this sugarloaf mango tree. A lot of people have been asking me to show them how to do an air layer. I've done some videos on it, but now I've got a cameraman here, so I'm going to be able to show you exactly what I'm doing here. So I've got my grafting knife. I've identified a branch that I think would make a really good little tree. I've stripped off some of these leaves here, and we're going to do our air layer. The air layering is the process of creating a new tree by propagating the old one. So we're going to try to create some roots at this point of the tree here. Now, when you're doing a thin branch like this is probably a thinner branch that I normally do. You've got to be a little careful because you don't want to go too deep because you can make this branch very weak. I might actually prune this branch to prevent it from breaking in the future with a windstorm or something. But all we're going to do is make two grooves around through the bark all the way through the cambium. And you don't have to worry about whether you're through the cambium or not because you're going to figure that out in a minute. So we made two lines, one here and one here. We've gone all the way around, and all we're going to do is remove the bark and the cambium in those lines. Now, this is going to weaken this branch a little bit. So I am going to take some of the weight off this branch by pruning it up at the top. But if it's a heavy branch or a thick branch, you really don't have to do that. So all we're going to do is go around this now, and we're going to take off all of the bark and all of the cambium. The cambium is the green layer underneath. The reason you have to take the cambium off is because if you leave the cambium, this tree is just going to re-heal itself, and then you'll just have a scar on your tree, but you won't have any roots here. So remember, our goal is to try to get roots to develop here. So we're trying to trick the tree into thinking that it's underground, one, and that it needs to produce roots to survive. So that is what we are doing, and we are basically sort of cloning this tree. And it's a really great tree, so I definitely would like to have another one. So we're going to clone this tree with an air layer. Let's come back around here. You got to get all the way around. You don't want to leave any of the cambium or bark intact. And I think that's the last little piece of it there. And we want to get down to the nice smooth wood. So we just want to make sure that we totally separate the cambium from this bottom portion to the top portion. And once we've done that, now we're going to get our rooting hormone. And we'll put a little bit of rooting hormone on there. And you can use cinnamon, honey, aloe, all those things are rooting agents. I like to just use rooting hormone. The honey, I'm worried it'll attract ants. And I kind of don't want to wait 3 months for this to find out that it didn't work. So now we've got our bag that we fill with peat moss. You can also get the capsules. You can buy them on Amazon. They work really well. We fill this bag with peat moss. It's a little bit moist, but we don't want it to be soaking wet. And we're just going to cut a slit in this bag. And this is where this really is a two-man operation because you got to have your rope ready. I got my cameraman here, but I'm not going to ask him to help me. I'm going to let him film. We're going to wrap this up around here, and we just want to encompass that in soil. And it's a good thing to have your rope pre-cut because this is hard to try to cut a piece of rope and do this at the same time, but I think I got it. I'm going to wrap that up nice and tight. And that's going to be our initial tie. We're going to get some more rope and we're going to tie that up a little bit more. We're actually going to wrap this with some plastic wrap too. So that is pretty much the air layer there. Now, the other thing I like to do is wrap it with some plastic wrap because here we have a lot of bugs that like to get in here. Now, the other thing is you want to do a branch that's easily accessible so that you can wrap it. Sometimes I'll do a branch that's in a really tough spot and I really have a hard time getting this plastic wrap around it, but the wrap keeps the ants out, it keeps the moisture in, and I find I have really good success with a little bit of wrap around here. We'll probably wrap that up a little bit more, but that's basically how we air layer. In 3 months, we're going to open that up, and hopefully we'll see a bunch of roots in there, and then we're going to be able to take this, cut it right here, and plant it in the ground, and we'll have a new tree that's a clone of this tree. It'll be a mature tree right from the get-go. All right? For more tips, follow me. See you guys. Bye.